All right, passport ready.
We are diving deep into your travel dreams today.
With this incredible list of 6 destinations you put together.
Yeah.
And wow, I'm
already feeling that wanderlust.
just looking at this.
It's quite a list you've got
A
here.
real mix of, well, everything.
Ancient history,
Bustling modern cities.
peaceful landscapes.
It really does feel like there's something here for everyone.
Yeah, and it's not just the variety.
It's the thought you've put into each place.
The specific experiences you've highlighted.
So are you ready to dive in?
Absolutely. Lead the way.
All right, let's start with a destination that's always captivated me. Mexico.
Yeah.
You've described it in your notes as a land of contrasts.
You know what?
That really resonated.
Because
with me.
you've got these picture-perfect beaches,
Right.
but then you've also got,
These incredible colonial cities.
and of course,
The energy of Mexico City.
Yeah.
It's like sensory overload in the
Yeah.
best way possible.
Mexico's fantastic because it really does offer so much variety.
You can spend weeks
Months even.
exploring different parts of the country.
And still only be scratching the surface.
So for someone who's maybe intimidated by the idea of planning a trip,
Mexico seems like a good place to start, right?
absolutely. It's a choose-your-own-adventure kind of destination.
You can relax on the beach all day,
Hike through jungles to ancient ruins,
wander through bustling markets,
get lost in the maze of streets in a colonial city.
or experience the energy of Mexico City.
And speaking of Mexico City,
I have to ask about the food.
oh, the food.
Don't even get me started on the food
You mentioned street tacos.
and Oaxacan mole dishes.
My mouth is watering just thinking about it.
It's a foodie's paradise, that's for sure.
It really is.
But you also mentioned something that piqued my curiosity.
Swimming in a cenote.
Ah, yes. Now,
Send me pictures.
they're absolutely breathtaking. But to actually experience a place that the Mayans considered sacred,
A gateway to the underworld.
that's a whole other level of adventure, wouldn't you say?
It's about experiencing a place beyond its tourist facade.
Connecting with its history and cultural significance.
And that's something Mexico offers in spades.
It really does.
Okay, let's move on to another destination on your list. That, well,
It's massive.
the United States.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
So the U.S. is a behemoth of a country.
With something for literally every kind of traveler.
So I'm curious,
What jumped out at you from your own notes?
you know what really struck me?
Was this yearning for classic Americana,
For that open road?
which led you to Route 66?
Oh, Route 66.
The iconic American road trip.
Who hasn't dreamt of cruising down that highway?
The vintage diners.
The quirky roadside attractions?
It just screams Americana, doesn't it?
It does. It's that quintessential American experience.
The open road, the wind in your hair.
The freedom to explore at your own pace.
It's no wonder it's still so popular.
But of course.
The U.S. has so much more to offer than just Route 66.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've got the Grand Canyon.
Yellowstone National Park.
Yosemite.
These incredible national parks that showcase the raw beauty of nature.
And you know, you are smart to include a mix of iconic landmarks.
And those maybe lesser known gems.
Because the U.S. really does have something for everyone.
It does. And that's what makes it so exciting to explore.
All right, let's hop over to our neighbor to the north.
Canada.
Now, you specifically called out those friendly Canadians.
And okay, maybe it's a bit of a stereotype.
But I have to say, from personal experience,
Canadians really are incredibly welcoming.
they are. It's one of the things that makes Canada such a joy to visit.
Absolutely.
And when you combine that warm hospitality with Canada's breathtaking natural beauty.
Well, it's no wonder it's such a popular destination.
Speaking of natural beauty.
You mentioned Banff and Jasper National Parks in your notes.
Oh, those Canadian Rockies.
Just thought of
Turquoise glacial lakes.
the snow-capped peaks.
It's like stepping into a postcard.
It really is. And don't even get me started on the fall foliage in Ontario.
Oh, yes.
You mentioned those vibrant hues.
I can only imagine.
Now, I have to ask about something else you mentioned.
The fact that Canada is bilingual.
It's easy to forget that sometimes.
It is. But it's something to keep in mind when planning your trip.
Especially if you're venturing into Quebec.
Where French is the dominant language.
So brush up on your French, listeners.
It'll make the experience even richer.
Absolutely.
All right.
Let's switch gears completely and head over to Asia.
First up, Japan.
This is a destination that always seems to top those must-visit lists.
And for good reason.
You described it in your notes as...
Tradition and technology in perfect harmony.
And I have to say, that really captures the essence of Japan, wouldn't you say?
It does. It's this fascinating juxtaposition that you see everywhere you go.
So give me an example. What does that actually look like?
Well, you could be exploring a serene, ancient temple in Kyoto.
Surrounded by traditional Japanese gardens, you step out onto the street.
And you're suddenly surrounded by towering skyscrapers.
Neon lights.
And people using the latest gadgets. It's like stepping between two different worlds.
And it works.
It does. That's the amazing thing.
It's like those two worlds aren't at odds with each other.
They exist in this beautiful harmony.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm adding Japan to the top of my list.
Now, speaking of Japan.
You specifically mention the Jian district in Kyoto.
Jian.
What is it about that area that captured your imagination?
Jian is Kyoto at its most enchanting.
Imagine strolling down Hanamakoji Street.
Lined with these beautifully preserved wooden machiya merchant houses.
The scent of incense drifting from hidden tea houses.
And maybe even catching a glimpse of a geisha hurrying to an appointment.
Exactly.
It's like stepping back in time.
It really is. And of course, no trip to Kyoto would be complete without a visit to Kinkakuji.
The Golden Pavilion.
I've seen pictures.
But something tells me they don't do it justice.
Trust me, seeing it shimmer in the sunlight is an unforgettable experience.
You've convinced me.
Now let's talk about Tokyo.
Because you can't go to Japan without experiencing Tokyo, right?
Absolutely not. It's a city that never sleeps.
A whirlwind of sights, sounds, and experiences.
And you specifically mentioned Akihabara.
Akihabara. The electric town.
The center of anime and manga culture.
Gaming arcades galore.
It's a sensory overload in the best way possible.
Right, I'm sold.
Akihabara, here I come.
And while we're talking Tokyo,
you have to try the street food in Asakusa.
Okay, what kind of street food are we talking about?
Everything from traditional Japanese sweets
to savory snacks.
Like takoyaki and yakitori.
It's a feast for the senses.
All right, I'm making notes.
Takoyaki.
Yakitori.
Got it.
And speaking of unforgettable experiences...
we can't talk about Japan without mentioning cherry blossom season.
Oh, the cherry blossoms.
It's magical, isn't it?
It's a truly magical time to be in Japan.
The parks and gardens are transformed into a sea of pink.
And there's this sense of joy and celebration in the air.
It's like the whole country comes alive.
Exactly.
All right, next up on our whirlwind tour...
South Korea.
And I have to confess...
the moment I saw it on your list...
my mind went straight to K-pop and K-dramas.
It's a cultural phenomenon, isn't it?
It really is.
And I have a feeling our listener might be right there with me.
Geeking out over their favorite K-pop idols, or binge-watching the latest K-drama sensation.
No, absolutely.
But what's so interesting about South Korea
is how this modern cultural influence coexists with its rich history and traditions.
Exactly. It's like this fascinating blend of old and new.
So give me an example.
What does it look like in practice?
Well, you could spend the morning exploring Gyeongbokgung Palace in Seoul.
Which is a stunning example of traditional Korean architecture.
In the afternoon,
you could find yourself in the trendy Gangnam district.
known for its upscale boutiques and K-pop entertainment companies.
Wow. Talk about a culture clash.
In a good way, of course.
Of course.
It's like you're experiencing two different worlds in the span of a few city blocks.
Exactly. And that's what makes South Korea so fascinating.
Now, you also mentioned Busan.
South Korea's second largest city. Busan. A beautiful coastal city.
What should our listener know about Busan?
Well, first of all, it offers a completely different pace from Seoul.
It's more laid back.
More relaxed.
You got beautiful beaches like Haeundae.
Perfect for soaking up the sun. For something truly unique.
You have the Hadong Yeongeongsa Temple.
Which is a Buddhist temple built right on the rocky cliffs overlooking the sea.
Wow, imagine that.
Listening to the sound of crashing waves while you meditate.
That's an experience I won't soon forget.
It's truly special. And let's not forget about Jeju Island.
Jeju.
The name itself sounds magical.
What's the story there?
Jeju Island is often called the Island of the Gods.
And for good reason.
It's a volcanic island.
With lush forests.
Stunning coastlines.
And a unique culture that sets it apart from mainland South Korea.
So for someone looking to escape the hustle and bustle,
to reconnect with nature,
Jeju Island sounds like the perfect place.
Absolutely. It's a true haven for nature lovers.
All right. Last but not least on our whirlwind tour of your travel dreams,
we come to Cuba.
And this destination just oozes of vibrant energy.
That's hard to resist.
It really is.
I'm picturing vintage cars.
Colorful colonial architecture.
The rhythm of salsa music drifting through the air.
Am I on the right track?
You are spot on. Cuba is a feast for the senses.
Havana, the capital.
That's a must-see, right?
Absolutely. Havana is like stepping back in time.
With its beautifully preserved colonial buildings.
Those iconic vintage cars.
And a palpable sense of history.
And we can't forget about the music.
Oh, the music.
It feels like music is the heartbeat of Cuba, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Whether it's salsa, rumba, or traditional Cuban son.
Music is everywhere.
It's in the streets.
And at the cafes.
Spilling out of bars and nightclubs.
It's impossible to escape.
And you know what? I don't want to escape it.
I want to be swept up in it all.
That's the spirit. And speaking of being swept up.
You mentioned sipping a mojito on the Malecon at sunset.
Okay, now you're talking my language.
The Malecon at sunset?
With the mojito in hand.
That's the dream.
It's a must-do experience.
It really is.
But it's not just about the drink.
It's about soaking in the atmosphere.
Right.
Exactly. It's about watching the sun dip below the horizon.
Feeling the sea breeze on your face.
And just enjoying the moment.
And maybe even striking up a conversation with some locals.
Absolutely. Cubans are incredibly friendly and welcoming.
Okay, so we've got the vibrant energy of Havana.
But you also mentioned Viñales.
Ah, Viñales.
Tell me everything.
Imagine lush green valleys.
Dotted with these unique mogotes.
A mogote.
What are those?
They're these towering limestone hills.
That dominate the landscape.
Okay, I'm picturing them now.
And they're in Viñales.
Yes. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
And home to some of the best tobacco plantations in the world.
So we've got stunning scenery.
And world-class cigars.
That's not to love.
Exactly.
Now, I have to ask about something you pointed out that initially surprised me.
Cuba's limited internet access.
So for some travelers,
that might seem like a nightmare.
But you framed it as a potential positive.
Help me understand that perspective.
In today's world,
we're constantly connected.
Constantly bombarded with information.
And it's easy to feel overwhelmed.
But in Cuba,
that's not the reality for many people.
So it's almost like a forced digital detox.
In a way, yes.
It's a chance to disconnect from the online world.
And reconnect with the world around you.
To be present in the moment.
Exact.
To savor those face-to-face conversations.
To embrace the art of getting lost without relying on Google Maps.
Precisely.
Know what?
That's a really refreshing perspective.
It is, isn't it?
And when you think about the destinations we've discussed so far,
Mexico, the United States, Canada, Japan, South Korea, and now Cuba.
There's a common thread that ties them all together.
It's the idea of experiencing something different.
Something outside of our everyday routines.
Absolutely. It's about stepping outside of our comfort zones.
Embracing the unfamiliar.
And allowing ourselves to be transformed by the journey itself.
And that,
I think, is what makes travel so powerful and enriching.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
It's like you're hitting the reset button on your senses.
You're forced to engage with the world around you in a whole new way.
It's about being present in the moment.
Exactly.
Not just scrolling through it.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground, geographically speaking.
But I want to circle back to a couple of things that really pique my interest.
And maybe dig a little deeper.
I like the way you think.
What are you thinking?
Well, let's talk about Mexico.
And those cenotes you mentioned.
Because they're not just stunning natural wonders.
They held deep spiritual significance for the ancient Mayans.
Right. They believe these underwater caves
were portals to the underworld, to Xibalba.
Exactly.
A place ruled by Mayan death gods.
Filled with trials and tests.
It's kind of spooky when you put it like that.
Well, imagine swimming in those crystal clear waters.
Knowing that for the Mayans, it was like entering a sacred realm.
A place where the veil between the living and the dead thinned.
Okay, now I'm getting chills.
But it's also incredibly fascinating.
Isn't it?
It adds a whole other layer of meaning to the experience.
It really does.
It's like those ancient beliefs are still woven into the fabric of the place.
Exactly. And speaking of places with layers...
we have to talk about Japan.
Oh, Japan.
Where do we even begin?
Well, this idea you mentioned.
About tradition and technology in perfect harmony.
It's truly remarkable how the Japanese have managed to preserve their cultural heritage.
While also embracing innovation and technological advancement.
It's a balance you see everywhere you go, right?
Everywhere. From the ancient temples and traditional tea ceremonies
to those neon-lit streets and futuristic gadgets.
It's like they've found a way to make those two worlds coexist.
Without one overshadowing the other.
Exactly. And it's not just about the visuals.
It's about the way people live their lives.
So what you're saying is...
it's authentic.
It's authentic to who they are.
It's not just for show.
It's in their DNA.
Exactly. You might see a businesswoman in a perfectly tailored suit.
Stopping by a Shinto shrine to offer a prayer on her way to work.
Or a group of teenagers dressed in the latest streetwear.
Enjoying a traditional tea ceremony.
Wow.
It's the seamless blend of old and new.
That makes Japan so captivating.
Okay, I'm convinced.
Japan is officially on my bucket list.
Good. Because speaking of captivating experiences...
You mentioned wanting to experience a traditional tea ceremony.
Oh, absolutely.
It's one thing to read about it.
But to actually witness the ritualistic precision...
The quiet grace.
The focus on mindfulness.
That must be incredible.
It's a meditative experience.
A moment of stillness and reflection in a world that's constantly moving.
I can see why you're drawn to that.
And, while we're on the topic of experiencing traditional Japanese culture...
You mentioned a desire to see a geisha.
Oh, absolutely.
The Gion district in Kyoto, that was high on my list.
Good choice.
Because Gion is one of the few remaining places where you might catch a glimpse of a geisha.
But I also know there are a lot of misconceptions about geishas.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially in Western cultures.
Right.
So, set the record straight for us.
Well, first and foremost...
Geishas are not what many Western films and novels portray them to be.
Okay, so what are they then?
They are highly skilled entertainers.
Trained in traditional Japanese arts.
Like music, dance, singing.
And even the art of conversation.
It's about preserving a centuries-old tradition, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's a dedication to artistry and refinement.
And it's not just about entertainment, right?
Right. It's about connection.
Geishas are masters at making you feel seen and heard.
At engaging in meaningful conversations.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is, isn't it?
Okay, let's move on to another destination that I know holds a special place in your heart.
South Korea.
And we've got to address the elephant in the room.
K-pop and K-dramas.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
But you know me too well.
What can I say? I'm a sucker for a catchy K-pop tune.
And a good binge-worthy drama.
Me too.
But, beyond the global phenomenon.
I'm really intrigued by this idea you brought up.
About how South Korea manages to embrace its cultural heritage.
While also being at the forefront of pop culture.
It's a fascinating dynamic, isn't it?
It really is.
Because you can have these incredible historical sites.
Like Gyeongbokgung Palace in Seoul.
And then just a stone's throw away.
You've got the ultra-modern, trendy Gangnam District.
Exactly.
It's a country that embraces its past.
While confidently striding into the future.
It's like they've found a way to bridge that gap.
Between tradition and modernity.
And they do it so effortlessly.
It's inspiring, really.
It is.
Okay, so we've talked about Seoul.
But you also mentioned Busan in your notes.
Yeah, Busan.
A city that often gets overlooked.
Really? Why is that?
Well, I think Seoul often steals the spotlight.
But Busan is a gem in its own right.
It's got a completely different vibe.
How so?
Well, it's more laid back than Seoul.
More relaxed.
You got those beautiful beaches.
Like Haeundae.
Which is perfect for just chilling out.
Soaking up the sun.
But then you also have incredible temples.
Like Biomyosa.
Which is nestled in the mountains.
And it offers these breathtaking views.
So it's a good mix of relaxation and exploration.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm adding Busan to my list.
Now I'm curious.
You mentioned that Busan is more laid back than Seoul.
And I'm wondering if that translates to the other destinations on our list.
That's a good question.
Because each of these places has its own unique rhythm and pace.
Its own energy.
For example, Cuba.
Ah, Cuba.
Now there's a place with a pulse all its own.
It's like the whole island vibrates with this infectious energy.
Exactly.
There's a rhythm to life there.
That's impossible to resist.
It's like you can't help but get swept up in it all.
You got it.
And you highlighted the music scene in Cuba as being particularly special.
Oh, absolutely.
Music is the heartbeat of Cuba.
I know we touched on salsa and rumba earlier.
But there's something about experiencing live music in Cuba.
That feels different.
It's like the music isn't just something you hear.
It's something you feel in your soul.
You've got it. It's impossible to separate Cuban culture from its music.
Whether you're listening to a live band in a dimly lit Havana club,
watching a group of local salsa dancing in the streets of Trinidad,
or catching an impromptu rumba performance in Santiago de Cuba.
Music is woven into the very fabric of Cuban life.
It's in their blood.
It's who they are.
And speaking of being present...
and experiencing a destination on its own terms.
Remember how we talked about Cuba's limited internet access?
Oh, yes. That's right.
That's a big one.
Because imagine this.
You're strolling through old Havana.
Surrounded by those colorful buildings.
The scent of cigars drifting from a nearby shop.
The sound of dominoes clacking in the distance.
And instead of being glued to your phone,
you're forced to be present in that moment.
To soak it all in.
It's like you're actually experiencing the destination.
Not just viewing it through your phone screen.
Exactly. And that's something we could all use a little more of these days.
Absolutely.
It's less about being disconnected.
And more about being fully present.
Right, like actually engaging with the place you're visiting.
Exactly.
Not just trying to capture the perfect Instagram shot.
Okay, so we've talked about the importance of being present.
Of slowing down and savoring the moment.
But I think there's another important aspect of travel that we haven't touched on yet.
Okay, I'm listening.
And that's the transformative power of travel itself.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's not just about the places we visit, right?
Right.
It's about the experiences we have,
The people we meet.
the lessons we learn along the way.
Each journey, no matter how big or small,
Has the potential to change us,
to broaden our perspective.
to challenge our assumptions.
I like that.
The transformative power of travel.
Because it's true, isn't it?
We return from our travels,
Not just with souvenirs and photographs.
but with new insights and a fresh perspective on the world,
Absolutely. Travel has a way of shaking things up.
of making us question our assumptions and see things in a new light.
Exactly. And with this incredible list of destinations you've put together,
It's clear that you're someone who embraces that spirit of adventure,
you're not afraid to dive headfirst into new cultures,
to explore uncharted territories.
to truly immerse yourself in the world around you.
I like to think so.
Okay, so out of all these incredible destinations we've discussed,
Which one is calling to you the most right now?
oh, wow.
That's a tough one.
I know, right? It's like choosing a favorite child.
It really is.
But if I had to pick just one,
I think I'd have to go with Japan.
Japan, really. Why Japan?
Well, for me, it's the perfect blend of everything.
You've got the ancient traditions,
The modern marvels,
the stunning natural beauty.
and the exquisite cuisine.
It's a destination that truly has it all.
I can definitely see why you're drawn to Japan.
It's a country of such incredible contrasts.
And yet, it all seems to work together so harmoniously.
Exactly. And let's not forget about those cherry blossoms.
Witnessing that explosion of pink during Hanami season is an experience that's been calling my name for years.
Oh, believe me.
I understand the allure of those cherry blossoms.
But honestly,
Every destination we've talked about today has its own unique allure.
Mexico, with its vibrant culture and ancient history.
The United States, with its vast landscapes and iconic road trip routes.
Canada, with its breathtaking natural beauty and welcoming spirit.
South Korea, with its blend of pop culture and traditional heritage.
And of course, Cuba, with its rhythmic soul and timeless charm.
It's a testament to your wanderlust.
To your desire to experience the world in all its multifaceted glory.
Well said.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into your incredible travel bucket list,
What's the one piece of advice you would give to our listener?
don't wait.
Life is short.
And the world is waiting to be explored.
Pick a destination.
Book that flight.
And get ready for an adventure that will stay with you long after you've unpacked your bags.
Beautifully said. I couldn't agree more.
This journey starts now.
Keep dreaming. Keep exploring.
And most importantly,
Keep that passport handy.
who knows, maybe our paths will cross someday.
In one of these incredible destinations.
Now, wouldn't that be something?
All right, adventure seeker. That's a wrap on our deep dive into your travel dreams.
Until next time.
Safe travels.